What if I strayed no further but choose here? So he says that, like, if I did not move any further, what will happen if I choose here only, if I choose this cascade only? Let's see once more this saying graved in gold. Now, he again starts reading the inscriptions. First, he started from the third cascade, and now he is starting from the first one, the gold one, and says that, let's see once more this saying graved in gold. So, let me see what is graved, what is engraved on the golden cascade. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. So he reads the inscription and says that, who chooseth me, like whosoever will choose me, whosoever will choose the golden cascade will gain what many men desire. Like the person who chooses the gold cascade will gain what all the other people or many men they desire. Why? That's the lady. So he said, yes, that is the lady. This lady, Portia, she is desired by many a men, like many a people, many a suitors. They desire Portia. All the world desires her. He says that, yes, because the whole world desires Portia, and that is why certainly this cascade is the right cascade. From the four corners of the earth, they come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. So he says that from all the four corners of the earth, from all parts of the earth, they come. They here refers to suitors. They come to kiss this shrine. To kiss this shrine means to pay homage to this shrine. So shrine is a place which is said to be a place where a saint is living, or a saint lives. So here Belmont has been compared to a shrine, and Portia has been compared to a saint. So he says that from the four corners of the earth they come. They means the suitors. So he says from all the parts of the world, from all corners of the world, the suitors, they come to kiss this shrine. They come here to pay devotion, to pay homage at this shrine of this saint which is in human form. This mortal breathing saint actually is referred to Portia, which means the people or the suitors from all corners of the world, they come to Belmont to show their devotion, to show their respect for this mortal breathing saint, to this saint, or to this saint in human form. The Hyrcanian deserts and the vasty wilds of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares now for princes to come view fair Portia. And then he says that the Hyrcanian deserts. So Hyrcanian desert here refers to the desert area of to the south of Caspian Sea. So he says the Hyrcanian deserts and the vasty wilds of wide Arabia. Vasty wilds of wide Arabia means all the barren lands of Arabia, all the barren areas of Arabia. They are thoroughfares now. They are thoroughfares now means, thoroughfare means common roads. So the wild deserts and the wild plains of Arabia, they have become thoroughfares. They have become common roads now. For means because princes to come view fair Portia, because the princes, they cross these deserts, they cross these wild areas in order to come to Belmont to see fair Portia, in order to view fair Portia, this beautiful Portia. The watery kingdom, whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven, is no bar to stop the foreign spirits, but they come as over a brook to see fair Portia. So then he says that the watery kingdom, the word watery kingdom here refers to the wide oceans, the big oceans, whose ambitious heads. So he says that these big oceans, whose ambitious heads means who seem like throwing drops upon the heaven, who seems like they are spitting upon heaven, is no bar, is no barrier now, is no hurdle now to stop the foreign spirits. So these oceans, these big oceans, they are not any hurdle now that they can stop these foreign spirits. So the word foreign spirits here refers to all the suitors who come from different parts of the world. So these big oceans, they are no hurdle. These big oceans are not any hurdle. They cannot hurdle the way of these suitors, but they come. They means these suitors, they come as over a brook. They come to Belmont as if they are crossing or they are stepping across a small brook just to see fair Portia. So they come here to see fair Portia crossing the big oceans as if they are crossing a small brook. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. So he says that one of these three caskets contain her heavenly, divine picture. One of these three caskets contain the divine picture of Portia. Is it like that lead contains her? And then he evaluates his thoughts again and says that, is it likely for the lead to contain it? Then he says that, is it that her portrait is contained, her portrait is there in the lead casket? It were damnation to think so base a thought. And then he says that it would be such a damnable and a low thought if I think that Portia's portrait lies in the lead casket. It were too gross to rip her cerecloth in the obscure grave. And then he says that it were too gross. It were too gross means this lead casket is very gross, like this is a very rough kind of a metal. Even to rip her cerecloth in the obscure grave. So the word cerecloth here means it is like a shroud, and the word rib means to enclose. So he says that it means it here refers to lead casket. It were too gross. This lead is too gross. This lead is too worthless to wrap her cerecloth, to wrap even the shroud of Portia in the obscure grave. Obscure means in the dark grave, like it would be this lead would be really a very coarse material. It would be a very coarse metal even to wrap the dead body of Portia in the dark grave. Or shall I think in silver she is immersed? Then he says that, or shall I think that Portia is immersed, like Portia is locked up, immersed. The word immersed means she is locked up in the silver casket, being 10 times undervalued to tried gold. He says that, shall I think that Portia's portrait lies in the silver casket? That is only 10 times undervalued, like it is 10 times less than the value of pure gold. Oh, sinful thought. And then he says that, oh, this is really a sinful thought, like I should not commit such sins by thinking such a thought. Never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. Then he says that never so rich a gem, like such a rich gem as Portia. He is comparing Portia to a valuable, precious stone. He says that so rich a gem, such a precious stone like Portia was never set in anything. It was never kept in anything less than gold. Like such a precious gem like Portia, it can never be set. It can never be kept in any metal which is less than gold. Then he says, they have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold. Then he says that they have in England, like in England, the people of England, they have a gold coin which has the figure of an angel that is stamped on it, that is carved on it. But that angel is carved on the gold. A coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold. So they have that angel engraved, it is carved on the gold, but that inscribed upon. But there they have that carving, or they have that figure of the angel is engraved on the gold coin, which implies that the figure is outside the coin. And then he says, but here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. But he says that, but here, an angel, that is Portia, she lies inside. She is not kept outside, but she is lying inside this golden bed. Deliver me the key. And then he says that, okay, give me the keys. Here do I choose and thrive I as I may. He says that, okay, give these keys to me. I choose this one. I will choose the golden casket, and I will go by, I will thrive with whatever my success may be. I'll go with whatever my success may be. Portia, there, take it, prince. So Portia says, okay, fine, you take it, prince, you take this key. And if my form lie there, then I am yours. So Portia says, okay, you take the key now, and if I am there, if my portrait is there, then I will be yours. He opens the golden casket. So Prince of Morocco opens the golden casket. Morocco. Oh hell, what have we here? So when he opens the casket, he sees something and then he says, oh hell, what have we here? Like, what is there in this casket? A carrion death within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing. So he says that, what is this? What is there inside this casket? A carrion dead. A carrion dead means a dead skull. Carrion dead means a dead skull. So this is a dead skull. Within whose empty eye, within the hollow eye of this skull, there is a written scroll. So there is a roll of paper with some writing on it. I will read the writing. He says, I will read whatever is written on this scroll, whatever is written on this paper. Reads. So he starts reading what is written on the paper. All that glitters is not gold. So the paper said, all that glitters is not gold. Everything that shines is not gold. Often have you heard that told. You might have heard this often, that everything that shines is not gold. Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold. So he says, the paper says, many a man has given his life only to see the gold which covers the outside of me. Like many a people, they spend their whole life just to see my outer covering, just to see my outside. Gilded tombs do worms enfold. But he says, but the paper says, but even the gilded tombs, even the gold covered tombs, they also have the worms inside. Even if we put a dead body into a gold tomb, it is also decayed, or it gets decayed by the worms which are inside it. Had you been as wise as bold, young in limbs, in judgment old, your answer had not been inscrawled. So the paper says that if you had been as wise as you are bold, means you are very wise but you are not bold. Had you been wise as you are bold, as you are brave, young in limbs, in judgment old, and if you were as mature of judgment as you are strong of limbs, as you are physically strong, I wish you were mature of judgment also. Your answer had not been inscrawled, then this would not have been the answer written for you. If you were as wise as you are bold, if you were as mature as you are young in your physical stature, then this would not have been the answer written for you. Fare you well. Okay, bye then. Your suit is cold. Your request has failed now, or you have lost your request now. Cold indeed and labor lost. And then Prince of Morocco says, cold indeed. Yes, he says, this is really cold. This is really like my hopes, they have been dead now. I have lost my hopes, and labor lost, and all my labor or all my hard work has been wasted. Then farewell heat and welcome frost. He says that, okay, then farewell heat. Heat here refers to love. He says, okay, love, whatever love was there in my heart, I bid farewell to that love, and welcome frost. And welcome frost. Frost here refers to disappointment. So he says that the love that was there, that I possessed, I bid bye to that love, and now I am going to welcome disappointment in my heart. Portia adieu. Then he bids farewell to Portia and says, I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave. Then he says to Portia that I have too grieved. Grieved means sad. He says, I have very sad heart to take a tedious leave. Tedious leave means a formal leave. I am very sad now and I cannot take a formal leave from you. Thus losers part. So Prince of Morocco considers himself as a loser and says that this is the fate which is met by the loser. A person who loses has to meet the same fate. So he says, thus losers part. This is how the losers, they have to depart. They have to leave the place. Exit Morocco with his train. So after this, Prince of Morocco, he goes out of the stage with all his followers. Portia, a gentle riddance. Draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so. Then Portia says that a gentle riddance. So Portia says riddance. The word riddance means the act of getting rid of some unwanted or some troublesome person. So she says that this is a very gentle kind of a rid that I have got from this man, since she did not like Morocco. Draw the curtains, go. Then she instructs her servants to draw the curtains to the three cascades. Let all of his complexion choose me so. And now Portia wishes that all of his complexion. So the word complexion here refers not only to the color of the skin of Morocco, but it also refers to the people like Prince of Morocco, whom she does not like. So Portia wishes that may all the people whom I don't like, or may all the people who have a similar complexion as Morocco, they make a similar choice. They should choose the way Prince of Morocco has chosen. Like all of them should choose the wrong casket.